Doc Loves the Kids, a local Kitsap County nonprofit organization established in 2015, whose mission is to provide activities, programs, and community support for at-risk youth.
They put the U in community.
Doc Loves the Kids.
Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy,
where we give you the courtesy of conversation
that's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Thanks for everybody that checks us out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to catch us every Friday at the Friday Fix. They were wilding out last night. We apologize. Please don't go back and watch the last episode. We can't take it down, but it's there. It's stuck there. It is what it is. It's not for you. And don't forget every Sunday, our live town hall meeting. 1 p.m. Pacific time. I had a whole bunch of sushi. I'm feeling myself. A lot has been developing about the bombing of the Tesla truck in front of the Trump Towers.
Yeah, let me go ahead and touch on that for a quick second, man. Yeah. Soldier who blew up Tesla at Trump Hotel left note saying blast was to be a wake-up call for the U.S. A highly decorated Army soldier who fatally shot himself in a Tesla Cybertruck just before it blew up outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas left note saying the New Year's Day explosion was a stunt to serve as a wake-up call for the country's ills, investigators said Friday. Matthew Levelsberger, a 37-year-old Green Beret from Colorado Springs, Colorado, also wrote in notes he left on his cell phone that he needed to cleanse his mind of the brothers I've lost and relieve myself of the burden of the lives I took. Levelsberger served in the Army since 2006 and deployed twice to Afghanistan. This was not a terrorist attack. It was a wake-up call. Americans only pay attention to spectacles and violence. What better way to get my point across than a stunt with fireworks and explosives? Levelsberger wrote in one letter found by authorities and released Friday. Yeah. So
and then there's a part of his manifesto here. It's like, he said, time to wake up. We're being led by the weak and fickless leaders who only serve to enrich themselves. Military and vets move on DC starting now. Militias, facilities, and augment this activity. Occupy every major road along Fed buildings and the campus of Fed buildings by the hundreds of thousands. Lock the highways around down with semis right after everybody gets in. Hold until the purge is complete. Try peaceful means first, but be prepared to fight and to get the Dems out of the federal government and military by any means necessary. They all must go, and hard reset must occur for our country to avoid collapse.
This sounds like a lot of rantings of just extremists, far-right extremists, but it's becoming closer and closer to the middle of the right now with the MAGA party in my eyes.
Well, there is no more Republican party, bro. It's the party of Trump. That's all it is now.
Absolutely. I agree. I agree 100%. I think that, when we're looking at this, people are going to look at us and say, oh, what are you guys talking about? The Dems, blah, blah, blah. But we've talked about this numerous times on the show already. You brought it up a bunch yourself, how far the right is willing to go. It's been going on for quite a while. We have to look at the Oklahoma City bombing. You got Timothy McVeigh, was that Nichols as well? They blew up the Oklahoma City, the federal building in Oklahoma City. Killing kids, everybody. You know what I mean?
Well, it's our federal government. They're not willing to really do anything about it. They had the one roundup of the one group. I think we reported on that. They were in California, but that's California.
And also the guys in Michigan who were making plans to kidnap the governor.
Yeah.
These are far right. There's a lot of these people going on. January 6th. On that too. January 6th, man. Look how many of those people there were. There's a lot of these people these guys are real life terrorists. Look at what happened in what was that? Charlottesville. Look what happened down there with the guy who drove the car through the crowd. They didn't call that an act of terrorism, and it was. There was no other reason. There's no other way around it. But it's only when a person with brown skin does something in this country, which it can be considered an act of terrorism. That should have been terrorism.
When you oh no, they're fighting back.
When you're going to stop the peaceful transition of power in your country, which has never happened in our history, if that's not an act of terrorism, I don't know what is. Thousands of people flooded the Capitol. People were killed. Nowhere else is this kind of glazed over the way it is for these kind of situations for these people. The right is right now at a point to where you keep hearing nothing but violent rhetoric coming out of them. all the time, consistently. You know, about, oh, we need to, that's why they got the black flags that they drive around with. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes on here that we're acting like these people aren't the greatest threat to America. Everyone's been talking about this for a very long time. No one's just wanted to do anything about it. You see them all the time, like threatening motions. When Trump was running for election, you go down to Arizona. We saw him out there. We saw him everywhere in the trucks with the guns behind the trucks. I mean, if we don't know what that is, then we're just not paying attention to, you know, what's truly happening here in America.
Well, no, we see it. They just don't care because, you know, for us, they'll lock they'll lock us up, throw away the key. But for them, you know, saying like they know they need those groups just in case something happens here, just in case like they lose power. They still have these people on the streets.
Absolutely. Stand back and stand by.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how good it's going to be because it seemed like he's already backtracking on a whole bunch of stuff that got him elected anyways.
This is what I had brought up the other day as well about this guy. I said, look, this is no coincidence. This guy rented a Tesla truck, went to the Trump Tower and blew up the Tesla truck. And I mean, there's not like Tesla Cybertrucks are just,
that's a message.
Yeah, I knew that before this note, these alleged notes even came out.
They just did him like the 9/11 hijackers. Somehow his body's burned beyond recognition, but you found his passport.
Yeah,
they're like, why are all the terrorists rolling around with passports?
I wonder. I mean, are they going to be like? They said that his body was too charred to even basically be able to remove from the vehicle. Okay, so how was the passport not? Did he put this in some type of a bag to leave it somewhere so that it survived? Why would you be driving around with your passport? Why? Yeah, I think some people probably do it. Maybe it's because he's in the military. I don't know. Maybe military people do this on a regular basis.
Well, they had his passport,
I'm not
sure.
They
had a military ID of him too.
Okay, I can see the military ID.
Yeah.
Maybe it's burnt enough to where you can recognize what it is.
Maybe she had a baby by him. He didn't want to do it no more. She was cute though, but I mean, everyone was cute in the picture, so they opened their mouth.
This was this guy, bro. He was a Green Beret. This was this person. He decided to do this for the reasons he stated above. I don't know about all the reasons he stated above, but that's a terrorist attack. No matter what, a wake up call. So now you guys can give America wake up calls. What if people who come from the Middle East or wherever else they want to come from, when we call them terrorist attack, what do you think they're trying to do? They're trying to present a wake up call to us too. Like, hey, stop doing this shit in our countries, but it's all terrorism. When you look at it from,
well, I mean, especially like you go to the Middle East, think about it. They're like, oh, they're terrorists. I'm like, you're in their country though. You're the terrorists.
I mean, they're insurgents. They're insurgency in their country. I mean, hey, we would be considered insurgents here if we fought back. That's basically what they're saying. But it just, to me, man, like I say, I think this is showing the degree that these guys are willing to go to quote unquote take their country back. And this is. I mean, it's been a.
Well, I mean, that's what you need to look like. Everyone else needs to look at this, and like, you know, people on the left, they just basically bitch and complain. Oh, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving. It's talking about murder, and Christmas is a pagan holiday, and this and that. Shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, okay, they're on stolen land, but they took it. You gonna do something about to get it back? Nah, you just gonna sit there and bitch. At least these people are like, look, we're about to lose the country. We already took over, so we're ready to burn this bitch down. That's how you should be. Are you about your freedom or you're not? It's America, bitch. This ain't some where you sit and complain. Because what happened? You sat and complained for 2-3 years, and now what happened? They took it right back from you. Right back from you. The people tried to overthrow the government. You didn't lock nobody up, and they took it right back because you're weak and you ain't bout your shit. These people are. They bout it. So either you're gonna get in line or you're gonna be the resistance. And the resistance, I don't trust half the people because y'all gonna turn around anyways and be like, hey, I was a Trumper the whole time. I voted for him. You know, because you can fit the description to be in there. The rest of us can't. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, the guy that blew up the truck, he sent a message, and there's going to be more messages sent as soon as they start bringing in more robots, as soon as it comes to profit, and they're going to bring in more immigrants. Because like I said, I've said it before, and I'll keep repeating it. We were promised 20 million people were going to leave this country. 20 million illegal or legal immigrants are supposed to get kicked out of this country, and we're supposed to get their jobs, their homes, and our life's supposed to be better. That's what you promised. Ain't no H1N bringing people in because you're cutting. Think about it. You're paying somebody $70,000 out this country where you should be paying us 120. You know what I'm saying? Yep. You're shortchanging the American people. Yep. You told me 20 million people gonna get out this country. You told me $1,000 a pop. I've been hitting the gym regularly trying to catch them people. I'm working out now. Tackle them.
I definitely
no, senor.
I definitely see where this is all heading right now. It just seems to me at this point in time that they're going to try to make this seem like some type of I won't say they won't make it seem patriotic, but that he gave his life in order to shed light on a situation. But I don't think the news will even be able to paint this any kind of way other than what it is. Because if they do, it just doesn't look good. Even for like Fox News, they couldn't paint this out to be anything different than what it was, because it just wouldn't look good for them, no matter what. This is a far right. Like if he's willing to take this kind of a message, what's the next guy going to do? Period. Is the next guy going to try to knock off one of those? Because this is basically telling them that, hey,
and they're not going to use a Tesla truck.
Like, hey, you guys are not holding up your end of the bargain. You said you were going to do these things right here that DMAC was basically just talking about. You said you were going to
use a Cybertruck. They'll use a Tesla this time, because the Cybertruck didn't get the only thing that stopped what it was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. If he used a Tesla, bro, with that much explosion in it, that building would have been part of the
probably couldn't hold as much as he did actually use. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Think about it. No, it exploded up. Think about it. If it was because it didn't stop it from going out. If it would have went out, all those people in the front, that one guy that had time to run, he would have been dead. Everyone in the waiting area for the hotel, all that would have been gone.
They said he shot himself I think he got shot in the chest.
He shot himself in the chest?
Or something. That's just what I was hearing.
So he shot himself in the chest.
That's not even like a kill shot. Maybe if you shot yourself directly in the heart or something like that.
Maybe he was already dead before the Cybertruck even got there. You can take the Cybertruck and drive that yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's probably self-driving, right?
I don't know. Probably more than likely has some type of self-driving feature.
That's crazy. But I mean, no one has any footage of it. And speaking of footage, I want to talk about this. Ohio Governor DeWine signs law that could charge public for access to police videos. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine signed a bill into law that would charge the public for footage from law enforcement officials, including body cameras. A provision in a 450-page omnibus bill stated that the law enforcement would be allowed to charge individuals the estimated cost of processing footage from jail and police for access. Payments could be required before the footage is released, according to WEWS. The government will be allowed to charge as much as $75 an hour for a maximum total of $750 per request. Footage from dash and body cameras, surveillance footage from jails are public records in Ohio, and legal experts warn that the legislation may affect the public's access to these kind of footages. The policy wasn't publicly available and didn't have a hearing before it was added to the legislation.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I wonder did they already pass it? They haven't passed.
Yeah, passed already. They stuck it in there. It's
wow,
in a 450-page bill.
That's crazy, bro.
Crazy.
That they're even making you have to pay for something that you're already paying for. You're already paying for this. So now they're making you pay for it twice. These are whatever they're doing is your stuff already because you've already paid for it. Now pay me again. Double down. If you want access to this stuff, give me some more money. If you want access to what you already paid for, pay me again.
Yeah. And he says it's not a question of whether you get it. It's not a question of how fast you get it. It's simply a question, as a matter of public policy, are we going to require some reimbursement for that?
No, reimbursement for what? Something that we've already paid for. We pay for everything you do, everything you have.
I remember I used to get arrested, and they used to charge me to get arrested.
It's crazy, brother.
They used to you get arrested, and the police would rob you for your money. He'd be like, "Where's my cash?" I'm like, "Oh, well, it's a processing fee." They said they can't do it anymore because they started arresting people, like new heroin addicts and stuff, where people that actually still had families with lawyers and shit. But like they would charge you, they would rob you to arrest you. Like they'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's a processing fee. Whatever money you had in your pocket, we're using that. Like $300, could be $200, doesn't matter. They just take all your money. So they kick you out to jail, broke, send you on your way."
Hey man, and we don't see like this. The system that we live in is crazy, bro. This is all like. Add all this back up into like healthcare and everything else that we sit around, education that we trip on. I mean, we're getting beat all around the board, but this is nuts, man. You're basically telling victims of crimes, hey, you got to pay for the footage that you've already helped pay for. The public's already paid for this, and you got to pay for it again to get it. These people are getting like, this is getting to the point to where we're like, they're spitting in our face. They're telling us, they're laughing in your face while they're taking your money.
And who knows if they're even going to give you the precise part you want. Like that cop could be working from 6 a.m. to like 5 p.m. And the thing you want from them is 3 o'clock, and they're going to give you everything from 6 to 12.
No, what they're going to have to do is you're going to have to give them hours. What hours do you want? You know what I mean? They're going to be like, hey, this is the hours you requested. This is what you get. It's what it is. That's what makes it even worse because you're looking for needle in the haystack a lot of times through different things. But point of it is, man, is this where if we're going to be getting charged for things that we're already being charged for, I mean, we might as well just go ahead and roll over at this point in time. Like you were saying earlier, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
That they are able to pass something like this and slip it into a bill without anyone. That should be a standalone type of thing right there. We want to charge. That should be almost them having to say another. That's a tax almost on people.
Well, I mean, it's going to make it harder for people.
I
mean, it's going to make it easier for the cops to do their job because they're going to be able to beat up people, do whatever. I mean, he's going to give the cops immunity, so it's just going to. It's all tying into the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Pay for what you want now. Pay for. If you want to see footage of me whooping your ass, pay for it.
Yep. If you want to see your loved one that was sitting there boiling water on the stove and the cop wanted to shoot her, you're going to have to pay for that. Even if we even give it to you, because the body cam could have not been on.
Anything. This is crazy, man. What is HMPV? China steps up emergency measures amid new virus outbreak. China is experiencing a surge in infections of a respiratory virus, leading to overcrowded hospitals, emergency measures, and public concerns about an outbreak. The virus, identified as human metamorvirus, has seen cases spiking across northern Chinese provinces this winter, particularly among children. The outbreak comes 5 years after the world was first alerted to the emergency of a novel coronavirus in Wuhan, China, which later turned into a global pandemic, killing 7 million people. Sheesh. Photos and videos of people wearing masks in hospitals in China emerged on social media platforms, and local reports said the scenes of an outbreak of HMPV were very similar to the initial COVID outbreak. Health authorities are implementing emergency measures to monitor and manage the spread. However, Beijing has downplayed the developments as an annual winter occurrence.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, we're all back on it again. I mean, it's whatever's affecting China right now, it's already here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's already here. It just depends on how bad it's going to spread and how bad it's going to, it's respiratory. I've talked to a lot of people that have been sick. Either they have the current neuroviruses going around, they're catching COVID again, or they're getting a respiratory, you know what I'm saying? Some respiratory.
Yes.
Which this is. It's a respiratory infection.
They said it's mostly dealing in children this time, which is going to be probably a lot less likely to occur in any kind of fatalities, because children tend to bounce back a lot better than.
But still, who wants to be sick? Who want to be home? Think about it. You homesick with a kid?
There's always something that's popping up. We both know this. Yeah. I mean, you have children, so I'm sure they go to school. So at the end of the day,
I was at the store today, bro, and I was like a little shocked. I was like, oh, these people are wearing masks in here, but they're smart. I just need to put my mask back on. I mean, a lot
of people are getting really, really sick, man. It's just been crazy too. I mean, yeah. Luckily I have them because I'm not around a bunch of kids as it is, but you know what I mean? Like, I know that I'm around you, and you sure as hell got some. So you bring that shit around
the kids. They're going to go back to school. Sundays. And that's where all the diseases spread. Everything like the flu, all that stuff, it spreads through the schools.
Yeah.
That's why during COVID, people are like thinking it's conspiracy. Oh, the flu just disappeared. I'm like, yeah, because the kids aren't in school to spread it.
Yeah.
That's where it goes. Think about it. You have a classroom with 30 kids every period for 6 periods. Yeah. And then they go out, they go do sports with other kids. They go to malls, they go do everything. The kids spread the disease because they're more active and out. Yeah. And then we get it. We got to go to work and deal with it.
They're touching everything, the same thing. It's just, again, we're back in China with the same type of thing. But like China's saying that this is
Donald Trump's
presidency.
He in a pandemic burger right now.
It does. I mean, I've gotten like some, I've talked to some friends of mine about this right here. And of course oh man, yet again, even people who've been commenting on the page have been like, yet again, it's back to the, some type of an outbreak or some type of a pandemic when Trump's around.
We had one during Biden, right? You know why we didn't care about it? Because we're too busy living, and our government was competent enough to take care of us. I keep saying that, right? Where this guy's going to get in office, he's like, oh, it's a hoax. Again, he's like, they're trying to make me look bad. Again.
We're not shutting down, even though 7 million people died during that virus. It just seems like China right now. But you have to look at Asia is going to be that, because Asia almost houses probably damn near half the world, or a little over half lives in Asia. All bullshit aside. Yeah. You got 1.5 in China. I mean, in India. I think you got another 1.5 in China. Then you got Indonesia. You got Bangladesh. These are some of the top 10. I think they have like 4 out of the 5 or something like that. Bangladesh, Indonesia, Pakistan are like other countries around there that house some of the largest populations in the world. So you're going to get that, man. Like, that much of the world lives in such a small place. And you got to imagine with China's major cities over there, they're gonna like foster some type of outbreaks. It is what it is. Yeah. You got that many poor people on top of it. It's the same thing when you looked over into Europe back in the day when they had the Black Plague and all that. They had large concentrations of people who didn't really have all the proper, the sanitation that they need.
Europe was a gross place back then. I mean, they used to poop and pee on the side of the streets.
Sleep with their animals.
You could pay to have they'd have big cloaks or whatever, and so you just kind of dip in an alley or you stand there. The person open up the cloak and hide you while you're pooping in the middle of the street. If you poop and piss in the streets and the rats eat that, then the rats getting your your feed and stuff. Yeah, you're gonna get sick. It happened twice.
I ain't never heard of this one, but I believe you.
No, it's true. That's
crazy.
exactly why they caught the plague, because they were shitting and pissing in the streets or dumping their poop and stuff in the streets.
And sleeping with the animals and all kinds of stuff back then. It was horrible, man.
When they came to the Americas,
that's why people were like, "I wish I lived back then." I'm like, "Man, no, you don't. You have no idea. It's disgusting."
Yo, when they came to the Americas or whatever, like they would like the natives would greet us with flowers and all this stuff, like because they stank so bad, bro. They would put stuff on. Ooh, you step. Put all stuff on them. I'm at the store today. Some lady, I can smell the cat. She hella close to me. I almost turned to her like, "How many cats do you own?"
Dang, man.
Because I can smell all the cat piss on you.
He said,
"I need to be."
Piss.
Cat piss
man.
on you.
Hey,
no, I'm just saying.
We're not saying that China's this bad. We're talking about Europe back in the day and other things of that nature. So just kind of like anywhere you go.
It's gonna be wild because this new administration ain't having it. They're like, nah, ignore that. Don't worry about it.
Let me say this real quick. I've been to 2 like major cities before, like large cities. Mexico City, I've been there. I've been to Sao Paulo before too. I think those 2 cities are probably top 5, two of the top 5 cities, maybe top 10, low end top 10. But Sao Paulo's a little different. It's nice over there. A little nicer over there. Probably certain areas probably got a little bit more rough. I didn't go into any of those areas. You fly into Mexico City, you see some stuff that you've never seen before. Like just looking over top. In Sao Paulo's like apartments like that. But in Mexico City, it's like, I forget what they call them. These little homes are like, they're not even real houses. There's like little row, type of deal set up there. I forget what they're called. But it's just like couldn't just imagine how many there were. It was crazy, man. Just looking at the scene when you're flying in there, it's nuts. So I can imagine what's going on in those places. And if you get any kind of sickness going in there, it's going to spread through there like a wildfire.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And so for the final one, I want to say Trump rages over half-mast flags for Carter. He says they don't love our country. President-elect Donald Trump is not happy that American flags will fly at half-mast to honor the late President Jimmy Carter during his inauguration. In a post on Truth Social on Friday afternoon, Trump expressed his frustration with the symbol of mourning during his second inauguration on January 20th and accused Democrats of being gleeful about the optics of the commemoration. He says Democrats are all giddy about our magnificent American flag potentially being at half-mast during my inauguration. They think it's so great and are so happy about it because, in actuality, they don't love our country, Trump wrote. Because the death of the President Jimmy Carter, the flag may, for the first time ever during inauguration of the future president, be at half-mast. The former game show host teased upcoming developments in the memorialization of Carter, who passed away on December 29th at the age of 100. Uncertainty as to whether the flags would be lowered come January 20th. Nobody wants to see this, and no American can be happy about it, he said. Let's see how it plays out. In 1954, presidential proclamation from Dwight Eisenhower created the standard, a 30-day period of public memorialization on a federal building, grounds, and naval vessels after the passing of a president during a White House press briefing on Friday. Press Secretary Karen Jean-Pierre ruled out a reevaluation of the policy before Inauguration Day. This man is mad. Look, he ain't even in there. He's like, you ain't doing that to me. Raise him up.
Yeah, that's just how he feels. He feels his way. It's just crazy because people tend to like Jimmy Carter now. Yeah, they didn't like him when he was in office. He was one of the least popular presidents when he left office. But at this point in time, people like Jimmy Carter for his post, like his post-presidential, all the activities he was involved in, all the things. I won't say activities. I would say all the great, fundraising, all the things he did for the community. He did a lot of great things after he left office. But to sit back and think that your presidency there's bad optics to fly the flags at half mast. Yeah, I know what he's thinking. He's like, man, they're making fun of me. They're mocking me pretty much. I'm a half a president.
Well, they are on Twitter. They are making fun of him. They're clowning him. They're going deep. Or on X, they're like, aha, the flags are going to be at half staff for him. Like, it's like, like he ain't nothing.
It's the truth, though. Him. Everyone knows he's been bought. Everyone sees it now. But the fact of the matter is you guys they're quiet as church mice. They're quiet as church mice right now about him being bought. And everyone knows it. But this guy's now, he came out, the guy who just, with the Tesla truck, he wasn't quiet about it. You know what I mean? And so of course you gotta honor the the tradition of the president, you fly the flags at half mast. It's Jimmy Carter. If he passed away, he'd want it done. He expected to be done, even though, but I think the optics would be perfect for him. You know what I mean? You just brought in Elon Musk to help run the country.
He doesn't want to take it away from him. He doesn't want to look back and be like, someone be like, why are the flags at half mast? Oh yeah, because the guy before me died. No, he don't want none of that.
Absolutely.
He wanted look, King Trump gonna get what he want.
Nah, it'd be too late. He can't do it because he doesn't have control of what's going to happen during that day. He's not president yet.
He's already controlling stuff here. Let's add a little bit here really quick. Do you have the article about how he got to show up to court on the 10th?
I don't.
I think we let that one slide. So, he got sentenced. Think about it. He got 35 felonies, 35 or 34 felonies.
Mm-hmm.
He has to appear in court on the 10th. He's mad about that. The judge said you got to appear in person, but they're not going to give him no jail time. I don't know nobody that I know in my state, if you have a single felony, it's mandatory. You got to do a year and a day.
You got to look at it from this perspective right here. At the end of the day, if he's not he's not pretty much taking accountability for what he's already been convicted of. No one's doing anything to him about it. There's not going to be any kind of real jail time. It's already been said. They're like, yeah, you're not getting any jail time, so don't worry about it. You know what I mean? So he knows he's just basically waltzing in there to hear this dude say, yes, you've been convicted of 34 felonies, but you're not doing any time. I don't know anybody who's been convicted of 34 felonies and don't have to do a day. You know what I mean?
I don't know why he's been convicted of a single gross misdemeanor and didn't have to do a day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're stupid, bro. I know some people about that, but I think it just depends on the deal. But 34 felonies, though, brother. 34. You know what I mean?
That's a lot.
Federal. This is not even just like you got these are.
What do they say when the feds is coming home? You might as well cooperate.
These are states. These are state charges, ain't they?
Oh,
New
yeah.
York. I think these are state charges, right?
They are state charges because he wants them to go federal so he can pardon himself.
He can just say that. Okay, I didn't do it.
Just take it to federal court, then get rid of it.
But yeah, man. So yeah, we'll definitely keep you guys up to date.
Keep you guys posted on that, man. We're gonna see y'all next time. This is Uncommon Courtesy.